right, guys, welcome to the DDM podcast. And this week, I got some very special guests. I got Team Garage Moonpower here. You guys say hi. We got Sebastian, Phil, and
Hello.
Dustin.
Hello.
So, so first off, we're gonna kind of go into a little event review on the event I recently filmed you guys at, and that was Final Bout Special State South. Now, personally, I had very high standards going into Final Bout, and that was probably my fault. Just on the level of driving and stuff, because I went to Final Bout last year, like the main one, and the driving was absolutely awesome. But granted, that was the best drivers in the country all coming together kind of thing. So this is more of a, if you guys want to kind of explain the Final Bout structure and how they're doing it this year, just so people understand that it's not like the big one, that they're gonna have later on.
Yeah.
Well, since I think this is the second time that's happened, right? Because the first time we went to a super stage,
Okay.
and then it's like a feeder version of it. I think that's what we did. So it's not really the main event. They've only had like 3 final bouts, and then the fourth one's coming up.
Yeah.
But the rest of their super or the super stages or whatever, they're like feeders to the actual main event. So
Correct.
they let all the teams from around that area fit the whatever requirements they set up, I guess.
Yeah.
And so that's why the driving at some of those places, like at the super stages, aren't as good as the main event. It's because of that.
Special stage.
Yeah, yeah. It's really though so they can get the best drivers. So then when we come to the main final bout, it doesn't look like that. So then when we go to the main final, you can just drive hardcore with everyone, like you've seen
The
before.
special stage just beat everybody else out.
Yeah,
And didn't really have what it took.
And I think it's just kind of like the special stage thing is kind of like giving every team the opportunity that wants to be a part of Final Bout to be a part of Final Bout. Like they get their opportunity to say, hey, you get to come out, make your trial. It's like qualifying, you go out there and try and qualify for the big event at the end where, it's the best of the best.
Right. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. And so, I understood that, but you think
you'll go out there and you'll see drivers that kind of, maybe have petitioned in or maybe just got lucky in a series or driving a whole new car. A lot of people, it was a very big thing for that event to have a well put together car. And much like myself, Phil, Sebastian, everybody threw a whole new car together. And, the weeks leading up to it, I had a big break because I had whatever the, drift week thing. But my car was still all destroyed basically from that, and I had to put it like Phil and I both had to put our cars together in the parking lot.
Right.
And it's just kind of like an opportunity for all teams to get to be a part of it that really live that lifestyle, really want to be a part of it the most. It's not someone who just loves drifting and loves good-looking cars. It's someone who's really into that particular thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. What did you guys think of the track?
Oh, it was sick.
Yeah, the track was pretty awesome. It could have been a little bit longer. I would have liked to drift the whole course, but the section that we did was...
I thought it was perfect, too.
What we were doing.
It gave us enough time to be able to cool down and do hot laps.
Yeah. I think if you guys actually had a little bit more time, I think we could have had some fun with some of the entry stuff, which you guys did. You guys started all the way back to that previous corner. I mean, how fast are you guys actually getting to that entry point?
I know I was doing at least 60.
Yeah, probably 70 with that one time that I got to start at the very, very back. But then, the average entry would probably be 55, 60.
Nice.
50, anywhere in
pretty
there.
Cool. How was the track surface?
I mean, it was great. I did 2 tires. I didn't even kill a set of tires the whole day. I drifted on a whole pair of tires in the dry, and then I just put on new tires because it started raining, and I was like, it'd probably be smart to start on some new tires in the rain. And then I went and drifted a whole another 2-3 sessions at the last event on those same tires in the rain.
Wow. That's cool. I mean, it's good to hear,
The width of the track was great. I think it was amazing that, Simba and them and the whole Final Bout crew kind of brought a new track kind of to that area at the same And they've kind of done that in a couple different places. I know Horse Thief Mile has been around forever, but you don't really. It's not one of those places you just can pay to go drive like you can at the Balcony or whatever at Willow.
Yeah, because it's definitely a fun track.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. It was definitely, and I think they chose the best portion of the track.
Yeah, big and then a technical exit.
Yeah,
so it was what made it fun.
That's cool.
And it was like perfectly sized for how the majority of the cars are set up. Like it was good for a high horsepower car. It was good for a low horsepower car.
Right.
It was good all around.
Yeah, it was fun for everyone, and I think that's what the spatial stage is about, though. So everyone can kind of try to make it.
Yeah, and keep the driving the big priority. You
get like a 600 horsepower car and a 300 horsepower car. It's not going to work out well.
Yeah. You were saying something earlier, Sebastian. I kind of half cut you off. So you remember what that was?
No.
It's okay. It's all good. All right, so that's good. How do you think the actual organization ran the event? To me, it looked pretty smooth. It's a pretty chill event. So,
I think it was great. They obviously made a good impression on the owners of the track because going into that event, I heard from multiple people that live around the Texas area that were like, yo, if you dirt drop one time there, you are out and you are done. But I think they kind of chose the part of the track that maybe was the most dirt droppable. And we're like, hey, we're going to have people here that are going to dirt drop, especially with it raining that day. And it's been so wet on the whole East Coast this whole year, basically. I don't know how it's been in Michigan, but it's rained like every day in Georgia for this whole winter, basically. And so having those two things go on, it's like, yeah, it's going to happen. And there was multiple people who dirt dropped and went off track and did everything else, but I never heard anyone being upset. I never heard anyone getting yelled at for it, And I think that kind of relieved a lot of pressure on the drivers to not have to worry about doing that, and were able to try and push themselves.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people maybe were trying to push themselves a little too hard and could have maybe like dialed it back a hair and like warmed themselves up to it. But a lot of the times, most of these people were, it was probably their first event of the year. Just like it was, Phil and Sebastian's first event of the year. I heard some of them might have been their first event ever or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, first time drifting. Yeah.
There's a couple of dudes who was their first time drifting in like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So, like, actually one of those really good teams, the ones in the all black cars, I can't remember who they were. They were doing really good though. The dude in a Pro and an FC. Yeah. Some of those dudes haven't drifted in like 4 years. The first time drifting those cars in 4 years too. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was kind of cool because you saw a whole bunch of different kind of cars there.
Yeah.
I personally liked the Heat Lightning ones because you don't see the big 4-door sedans drifted very often, especially those ones. So that was kind of cool to see a different style.
It was really cool for us to see another team from Georgia come out, actually out of Georgia.
Yeah.
And we actually got to see them in other places, and people now know that we're not the only people drifting over here.
With style.
With style.
True.
Right. Yeah, and you were there was it was even like a car show in the pits though too. There was a bunch of cool, beautiful ass chassis that obviously you've never seen a day on the track, but they were gorgeous, gorgeous cars, and that was always cool to see. And the thing is even though maybe the driving wasn't all the way up to par to some other events, it still brought tons of people. Like there were tons of people there. And it was kind of cool to see because Texas was a very interesting spot when they first chose it because when you think of Texas, you don't think of this kind of style of driving. So I thought it was really cool to see how many spectators were there too. So that was really cool as well. And like from my perspective on like a media side, they were pretty chill about everything. My only complaint with Final Bout is they had you do the media applications like in February for all of their events, and unfortunately I can't plan that far ahead. I didn't know I was going to this event until 2 weeks before, so I applied for like the one where you can go to all of them, and luckily they gave me it. But I know a lot of people don't know what they're doing this year. Like, I'm supposed to be going to the East event and then possibly the one back in the big one and stuff. But, you know, some of us don't plan that far ahead. It's how we're stuff.
Well, luckily this year they actually like contacted us and they were like, "What media guys do you 100% think you might have to be there?" And I went ahead and just said, "Put you down,"
which I appreciate because it's like, you know, I'm sure they get tons of people like trying to get in and stuff, and I don't know. I'm sure it's difficult, and you know, they were talking about the same thing with like applicants for cars and teams. You know, not everyone got accepted. You know, and I know some people were kind of upset about that, and I, for various reasons.
Really upset.
But you know, it's kind of their organization, and they get to kind of choose what goes on there. So, if you don't like it, I guess build your own then.
Yep.
But
and there's going to be multiple events there this year for with Lone Star. Lone Star is hosting 3 events there, but at the same rate, they're all going to be invite only or application only.
Correct.
Just because the facility's so nice, and they don't want people out there destroying it.
Correct.
Basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I think Final Bout for the most part has done a really good job on such a highly sought after series, if you want to call it that, because I'm sure it's not easy saying no to people, especially when they're like trying to give you money, you know, to go drive an event, and you're like I'm sorry, I can't, you know.
And even the repercussions of other people just talking about getting denied, because people immediately get upset that they got denied. They might not even understand why. Just getting denied just gives them a sour taste to the whole situation.
There's a whole big like negative vibe. Like people act like we talk a whole bunch of shit, and I'm like, we never talk any shit. But there's this whole big, you know, everybody says everybody who drives Final Bout, so you know they're all uptight assholes. They talk shit about everybody. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. So I mean, there's always going to be stigmas and people, I don't know, complaining about that kind of stuff, and that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, everyone complains about. There's all kinds of people complaining about FD as well, you know. So
24/7.
You know, so that's
can't please everyone.
Yeah, no. So it's a specific series, and I like that they have their niche market. I love doing videos there because they obviously usually do pretty well. But it's really cool to just see how they all operate, and like I said, I think they did a really good job with the event. You guys have any other like tidbits of advice for the organization, or something that you could see that they can improve on, or just other tidbits about the event that you guys liked that you can think of off the top of your head? What's up?
We need a closer event to Georgia.
You don't have any tracks closer to us to be worth it or anything, though.
We need some nicer facilities, or put some money into some closer facilities local to us.
We not Final Bout.
You know, it would be a good track to drift at. It's kind of closer to you guys is the one in Florida that I'll go to the Clutch Kickers events at.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be
cool, like a 7-hour drive, I think. From one.
No, it's like 6
Is
hours.
it 6?
5.5 hours.
So that track looked pretty easy to drift as well, and you know, it'd be great for this style of driving.
Yeah.
That track reminds me a lot of the one in Texas. It looks like from the movies and stuff.
Yeah, it's like big entry and some switchbacks. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get my car ready just in case they have that April event. I will be there.
Yeah, the whole team needs to go out there.
Dude, it's a super fun event, I'm telling you, but that's kind of off topic at this point. So, anything else on Final Bout for now?
Final Bout's the shit, and we're hoping to come back and do just as good as Final Bout 4, hopefully, right? So everyone should come out.
Yeah.
And
we need Chris back.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Chris back home. He's been chilling in Wisconsin too long.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for this. Again, this is the Final Bout Special Stage South event review, brought to you guys by the Garage Boom Power guys. So thanks again for the help. Quick shout out to where the best place to find you guys at.
Garage Boom Power, anything pretty much.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks you, and we'll see you for the next show. All right.
All right.